Hey everyone! We've got Nick from One Plus Armor and Chris from CanHammer here for another quick and dirty battle report. We're going to have Nick's Grey Knights and Imperial Knight up against Chris's Eldar, who you may remember from a different battle report, depending on what order we release these. So Nick, you want to give us a walkthrough of your list here?
Sure. Apologies for not being painted. I actually just built these two guys. And there will be a couple proxies, so basically every halberd in here will be a demon hammer minus this guy who will actually be a halberd and he won't have a side cannon. So basically it'll be a unit of 6 terminators with 5 hammers and 1 halberd with my converted Drago. He's not done yet. And then a librarian with 3 dread knights. So 2 dread knights have the heavy side cannon, great swords, and the incinerator. The other one has the Gatling silencer and just the sword. I have a unit of 5 strike squad with an incinerator, the rest halberds, razorback with a las cannon and a heavy bolter, and of course the Imperial Knight, which is I think the errant, the one with the multi-melta cannon thing.
Gotcha. All right, and Drago's your warlord, right?
Actually, I guess it depends. Unless if it has to be identified on list level.
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I would have put him. Yeah.
Okay. All right, and Chris, give us a walkthrough of your army again here.
Okay, so I'm bringing my Eldar, 3 detachments, 1 CAD, which would be 6 units of bikes, an Autarch on a bike, Farseer on a bike, and then my Lord of War there, which would be the Wraith Knight with the 2D cannons, which are really good against other Eldar and big stuff. I have 3 solo D batteries rounding out the heavy support in that list. And then I have 2 aspect hosts. One has a unit of swooping hawks and 2 units of warp spiders, and they need the X-Arc to be in the aspect host. Then I have another one with 3 units of warp spiders.
All right. And your warlord is the Autarch or the Farseer?
Farseer.
Farseer, all right.
Maybe it should be the Autarch, but I think he's more throwaway, so I generally make it the Farseer when I go to events.
So we are playing on this great table again. So this is all terrain that Chris has made and or brought. This is on the Barren Wastelands fat mat from Frontline Gaming.
I like it a lot more than the picture. In the picture, the craters look a lot more pronounced, but in real life, they look fantastic.
Yeah, it's more noticeable on the camera viewfinder, I think, for how much these things pop. So it's a really cool table. Terrain matches beautifully as well, which is great. Past that, we're playing ITC Scenario 5, Big Guns Never Tire. I don't think that's one of the ones that changed with the recent shuffle. I think that was just kill points. So with that, we'll do our deployment, get the objectives down, figure out psychic powers and everything, and we will be back before the game starts. Okay, we're here after deployment. So on the Grey Knight side, we've got an Imperial Knight sitting in some ruins, and a Razorback sitting in some ruins, and everything else is in reserves. On the Eldar side, we've got, I think, everything except the warp spiders.
Yeah, just the warp spiders in reserve.
Yeah, so everything else is out on the table. So we got bikes, swooping hawks over there, Wraith Knight, 2 D batteries, and another D battery, and then the Farseer's chilling at the back. And where is the Autarch is right here. Cool. So with that, right now Nick has first turn because he won the roll off. So Chris, you want to try to seize?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I do.
Oh shit. Oh, that's gonna hurt. All right.
Well,
Shake hands.
I've never really seized before, and a big deal.
I want a queen fight. Try not to punch him in the dick too hard, and we'll be back at the end of Eldar turn 1. Okay, here at the end of Eldar 1, what happened?
Yeah, so I basically moved up everything because I seized. I shot and killed his Razorback that was in cover. And then everything else kind of turbo boosted up to kind of spread and cover the board to gain maximum board control. Because his Knight could theoretically only kill 1 unit next turn. And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and the Knight took 3 hull points from the Wraith Knights.
Yeah, one of my D-cans went through, which is awesome.
Alright, and with that we're going into Grey Knights turn 1. Okay, here at the end of Grey Knights 1, what happened, Nick?
Not an awful lot. I only had the Imperial Knight, so I moved him over there. Shot, didn't roll too well, and just managed to kill 1 biker over there. So I don't play that often. I've been a little busy, so I wasn't too clear about the rules. I thought if he died next turn, I lost immediately. But apparently, I get to still do my reserve roll, so
Yeah,
that's
and-
encouraging.
and
If you want to move them differently, you can.
No, that's not
But I
a big
think that
deal.
was like a decent move.
Yeah, that's probably the best. So other than that, yeah, hopefully reserves are positive next turn. Otherwise, you know, I got a small army, so maybe I'll have to sub out the knight for something with a bit more men to it. I don't know. We'll see.
It's possible. We will see. So we'll be back at the end of Eldar 2. All right, end of Eldar 2. What happened, Chris?
Basically, I went up and killed his knight, shot everything into it, got down to 1 hull point, and then I put the swooping hawks in with their haywire grenades. So it's pretty good. And I basically spread all my models out in the middle of the board, so that, because he has everything he declared deep striking, so he's going to have to either be near the edges of the board or in the middle, and he's going to have huge chances to mishap. And I have enough stuff spread out that I could cover him. I got 3 units of warp spiders in, 2 of which I used my autark to not bring in, so they could come in and counter his stuff if he chooses to do something a little bit fishy. And so that was it. I rolled kill an enemy unit, which I got, and get his objective 1, which I am on right now. And if he doesn't kill that unit, I'll be fine. But if he deep strikes near it to shoot it, I have 3 scoring units nearby, at least 2 within definite range. And then the closer he goes to that objective to counter me, he's going to actually more likely to perils or mishap. So if nothing comes on or everything mishaps, then I win the game. So
Yep. All right, so with that, we're into Grey Knights 2. Okay, Grey Knights turn 2. What happened, Nick?
Yeah, it's not going my way. Well, I wasn't being too smart either. So these guys tried to come in here, but then scattered off perils, and I rolled a 1, so I lost my Drago Star unit.
mishap, yeah.
And then otherwise I got in these 2 Dread Knights, and then that unit of Strike Squad. At this point I'm just, I don't know, there's not much you can do other than try to go full force at it. And then the other one mishap, but he went into ongoing reserves.
All right, so with that, we're into Eldar 2. All right, end of Eldar 3. What happened here, Chris?
I shot and killed one of his Dread Knights, got the other one down to 1 wound left, and killed his Strike Squad. So all he has left is 1 coming in from reserves and 1 wound on his last guy. 2+ saves is really hard for me to kill, and he made a lot of invulnerables, but that's part of the game. So that's cool. I guess we'll hand it off and see what the Grey Knights can do next turn.
Yeah, so the only thing that also happened...
2 wounds.
Yep, Wraith Knight took 2 wounds in Overwatch and failed his charge by rolling Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, here we go. Now we're going into Grey Knights turn 3. End of Grey Knights 3. What happened, Nick?
Well, I went over there with my Dread Knight, tried to cast Force. I perils and rolled a 1 or whatever it was. Mishap, rolled a 1, so he's dead. This guy shot here and missed all the shots, so...
Going into Eldar turn 4. Okay, we're here at the end of the game. Chris, what happened to wrap it up there?
My turn 4, I killed the last Dread Knights.
And that's the end of the game.
Yeah, so he's tabled, nothing else left in reserve.
So, words of wisdom, what would you impart on our young Padawan?
I don't know if the reserving thing worked. Like he reserved. He maybe should have put his knight in the back corner so that nothing could hurt it, but maybe my Wraith Knight, and then just take that. He probably and I told him this too, and he did it anyway. I said measure a 12-inch circle and put your unit in the middle so that there's like safe, because that's your Death Star unit. And he decided to put it within 6 of a board edge. And then he got really lucky actually putting 3 Dread Knights in a clump there and only losing 1 to ongoing reserves. That was super lucky. So I guess his deep striking needs to be definitely safer, and maybe you should have just reserved them, because those Dread Knights, they can shunt. So they can move on the board edge and then shunt to the other side of the board.
Yeah, have them walk on
So
instead of
there's
deep
no
strike.
point in deep striking them, ever? Can they even deep strike?
They can.
Okay, well, you should never do it because of the shunt move. And if you would have kept your knight alive when they came on, it might have been a much different game. Because it does take 3 turns to kill 3 Dread Knights, right?
Very true.
Like 2+, 5+ that you can easily buff to a 2+, 4+ is really hard to kill.
So, Nick, what are your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, like you said, mistakes were made, feelings were hurt. Yeah, I just think, I don't know, I've been away, I haven't been able to play this game in 2.5, 3 months, so obviously you get a little rusty. Not that I was very good at it to begin with, but I don't know, it was good. They're always learning experience. I'm trying a very low model count army, so that's definitely I think going to be tough versus a high volume of fire MSU list regardless. He's always going to have the range and the firepower on me, so I don't know.
I think too, like when you deep strike everything and you're playing an MSU Eldar fast army, and literally your knight can kill one thing a turn, it basically, because it doesn't look that way when Logan panned the board, but there was that turn that we talked about earlier. I covered the board so heavily that there was almost nowhere safe to deep strike. Like you were always within 6 or 7 or 8
Yeah,
inches.
I know.
of the
Maybe
board.
next time
So,
I
like-
would have clumped everything here
Yeah.
and then shunted where I needed. And
But this is like a textbook, like it's very rare to see an example. That's board control. Like usually they talk about a lot of board control and it doesn't come up with good examples, but that was like a perfect example of why a presence and control of the board matters in this game.
you're really a perfect example, Chris.
No, it's serious. That you never
It's
see
a good point, though.
Yeah, no,
Like board control is a real thing that people don't think about. You have 3 D batteries covering this whole area. Anything comes in, it's risky. And then I spread out.
Well, it was actually your D batteries that played with my head a bit.
Because they're nasty, they're risky.
Yeah, they're good area denial.
Yeah, area denial. And yeah, so against an MSU army, knowing now that you know that you are super survivable, I think you were scared to put them on the board, but
I
you
was.
put them all in like you could have totally lived through that.
Yeah, no, I was scared at first. That's why I deep struck them. But if you're right, if I put everything in a corner, knowing that I definitely the first turn would not have lost
Anything, yeah.
anything, maybe have taken a wound because I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, knowing that now, I've changed my strategy.
I think the knight goes well with 3 dreadnoughts. I think they do cover his butt. I think they give him mobility and they help you funnel guys in. And I think they absorb enough firepower to kind of distract people from your knight. So I do.
Maybe you're right. That's the point. I have to have them all on the board for it to work.
Well, you had one target, and I just went after it.
Yeah.
Like it was no. You have to make your opponent make bad decisions.
All right, well, that is that. Thank you for joining us for another battle report. As always, be sure to check out our site, oneplusarmor.com, for information on our tournaments. We do actually have an upcoming tournament, the CanHammer Team Tournament, Chris, if you want to plug that one, because you're part of
a
that.
4-man 40K ATC tournament in Cambridge, Ontario. You go to canhammer.com for more information. It's in April. Check that out. If you want, I think we have all the events listed either on canhammer.com or oneplusarmor.com.
Yep.
So if you frequent those 2 sites, you'll be able to get our podcasts and all that stuff. And
All right, fantastic. So be sure to check that out. It's a lot of fun. We went last year, absolutely had a blast. Outside of that, if you like what you see, feel free to like, subscribe to our channel here. Check us out on twitch.tv. The link's down in the description below. And if you want to support our poor starving Nick for just $1 a month, you could become our patron on patreon.com. So if you do feel like supporting the channel, we really would appreciate it. Every cent from that goes straight into the channel, not to us. It all goes into equipment and events and everything that has to do with this hobby. So you can check that out, patreon.com/oneplusarmor.
and if you don't want to donate, the P&P series of tournaments has was it 20% donation to the channel?
Yeah, they're fundraisers for us, so I think we've cut it down to 15% now. It goes to the channel.
Still fair enough. You play in a tournament, you support your local YouTube channel, and you get to rock Nick in real life.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to beat Nick, come to our tournaments. All right, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more battle reports and hobby stuff.